Well, hello everyone. We are at the WTVI studios in Charlotte, North Carolina today, and I'm so happy to introduce you to Svetlana Baklanova. Svetlana is a global entrepreneur who trains business people and students to be more productive using a cutting-edge psychophysical technique called Practice Hora. Now, you've got some exciting information to share with us today about one of your more interesting products called the Hora Chair. Tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. It's great to be here. Practice Hora came to United States about 2006, and this training is alive around the world for more than 30 years by now. And Practice Hora is presenting a natural psychophysiological technique that chair is derived from. And of course, before we speculate any further on that topic, I would have to say about the founder. Founder named Alexander Atayan, as we call him Master Hora. He is invented not only this chair, but the practice itself, the knowledge behind that, and products like books, like movies, sculptures, and a lot of articles. So today we're talking about the Hora chair because everybody is sitting and they need something a little bit more productive as a outcome while they're sitting.
Absolutely. So the chair, how is it, what makes it so special? What makes it different from any other chair?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that this chair is created to have a meditation at any place. And of course, when we think about the word meditation, we assume that we close our eyes, we go into the calmer self, and we assume that our breathing is calmer and our mind is calmer, so we have lesser thoughts. But of course, we understand that this terminology by the founder of the Practice Hora is not total, not fundamental terminology in order to explain the state that this chair is presenting. So he is trying to place into the meditations a little bit more natural term, or should I say evolutionary component. But it's better to use other term, and this other term is a little intimidating, sort of speak like when you don't have much of a control of your mind and the body, and it's usually called trance. It could be a medical substances trance or any other substances trance where you're not really in control of the chemical reaction. Within the Hora chair, this state is very natural. And this natural state is represented as the word trance as an old word that was started to use around the 14th or 16th century, derived from Old English language. And from the beginning, it's spelled with the S by the end, which literally means to go or move over something, a transition, transportation, transaction. So we're just going to keep word trance with a description of knowing what you are and your state, being very attentive to the environment around you, and this connection between in you and outside of you, the environment, those two environments come together, your mind is clear, your attentiveness is very sharp, and you are ready to be productive. That is the representation of the trance state that Practice Hora chair is presenting.
Now, I've always been intimidated by meditation because it does take a long time, but you're saying I can even, with this chair, I can even do this while I'm working. That's a great invention. Can we take a look at it today?
Of course, it's always better to try it once than hear about it 1,000 of times. Let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, so this is the chair.
Yep.
It looks pretty simple.
Anything genius usually very simple when you actually get it. So in order to get it, it's always better to try. I think your idea about the simple chair will switch after you try it.
Okay, sounds good.
Are you ready? Let's do
try
that.
it.
See, on the regular chair, how is that?
It's comfortable. It's not the most comfortable chair I've ever sat in, but it's you know, it's relatively comfortable.
Okay, perfect. So, and now, is it going to be your first time?
It will, absolutely, first time. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see.
Okay, let's try it.
Okay. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. It feels like it's tilted a little bit. Tilted forward, maybe.
Okay. How is your breathing? Heavy, difficult?
No, it's very easy. Very easy to breathe. I feel like I'm sitting up straighter. I feel like my posture is better in this, sitting on this chair.
All right.
Very easy to breathe.
Well, this chair is created to collect and strengthen your attention. And all these little details of how this chair is constructed and what is the difference, we can talk a little bit more details. What makes this horror chair special, what it's presented for and what it's made for, and we could go to a next experiment. What do you think about that?
That sounds great.
So how did it go, the first experiment of your life?
Well, it's very interesting. It's sort of a little difficult for me to explain or to put into words, but I did feel my breathing felt very clear. It wasn't labored at all. One thing that I did notice, switching from the conventional chair to the horror chair, I felt almost as though my body was more aligned in the horror chair, which was kind of interesting. I felt almost, I think I have pretty good posture usually, but comparing the two, I felt almost as though I was slumping a little bit in the conventional chair, whereas I found sitting up straight and tall very easy in the horror chair.
That's great. Well, horror chair, the reason for that is built to collect and strengthen your attention, your inner attention, while it's collecting and strengthening your inner connection between the brain, the body, and your nervous system. Well, this collectiveness of your attention create this calmness and productivity that you can use for work or for studying processes. That's the answer of the technical part behind the result that you just described.
That's really amazing that such a simple chair can do so much. But again, what makes the chair so different from others?
Well, it's actual built-in the differences of the back leg of a chair. Because you see, naturally, chair was presented as far as 5,000 years ago. And since then, it have not been evolved at all. Chair is a chair, it's a place to sit. But in the beginning, at the younger stage of Homo sapiens, 98% of the daylight time, people were walking. They were on the feet. The chair was created to relax, to sit for a little bit and then go up to do your business further in the day. Here, it was not invented to actually sit for so long time. So prolonged sitting getting you tired because in the beginning it was not invented to work on such a product. So missing the connection to your feet is what we feel as a dormitory society, sedentary society, when we sit too much on the chair and we get tired of it. Exactly as you explained, it's hard to keep yourself in a straight position for a long time while you're sitting in a conventional chair. So the evolutionary component that actually work with you and giving this elongation process, the stability, the calmness to your attention and the calmer breathing is those exactly 2.5 centimeters that add to the level of back legs to the chair in order to create connection to your feet, to the whole entire structure. And that is a simple composition or a simple invention is exact 2.5 centimeters that makes all of those differences.
Wow, that's amazing.
So evolutionary chair presenting this component that collects you as a connection between the brain, body, and the nervous system into the correlation where you feel yourself more productive. And the reason it happened because the back leg of a chair is raised from the level of the ground into 2.5 centimeters. This is the evolutionary component that creates the connection between you and the ground, the way that a pre-human state or early human was doing throughout the day, 19% on your feet. So what you're missing in the conventional chair is the connection to your feet. So literally feels like you on your feet throughout the day. And that's why on a regular chair you get tired, the back gets slouchy, and in a horror chair you feel uplifted, straightened, so to speak, and naturally you feel like you're in an active mode. So you don't have tension because of that. You have a body which is in an active position, ready to go, which is all that you need while you're studying or business, being in the business environment.
Well, of course, everyone wants to sit beautifully and have a straight back.
And of course, without tension, naturally. But having stronger attention and calmer mind is so much more than meditation. It's a true transformative state, and most importantly, right at your studying place or at place of work. Actually, we had one attempt to do a patent in US, and we have a patent application where we have 21 distinct benefits of this horror chair. And I brought a patent, the whole application here with me, and I thought it could be like an experiment that you could look through and pick any component from the beginning of the patent and the end of the patent, and you can see at least two of this distinct 21 great points of this horror chair and how it benefits people.
Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's see. Okay, let's try this one, number 0007. A conventional chair forces the working individual to be in a resting position, which is the weakened bent back and diffuse stability coordinate system of the lower sacrum region. Coordinate system, what does that mean?
You remember you said yourself, while you're sitting in a conventional chair, you felt that you bent, weakened slightly, bent slightly. So the whole composition of raised back leg of the chair to 2.5 centimeters, organizing your gravitational center. Everything that alive, we know that we live among the gravity, and the gravitational law should be the main to live by, but we don't take gravity as a useful factor. So that's why a gravitational center of yours should be connected to the feet, and those 2.5 centimeters pushing you into this lifeful connection, that it's all that it takes for you to stay alive and active from the feet all the way up, feeling elongation as you just described after the experiment.
Okay. The human center of gravity is misplaced in such an indistinct system of coordinates. This harms the concentration of attention and weakens breathing flow. The lungs become stiff. In this position, the stomach falls out and downwards. It means that such conventional chairs unintentionally do harm the health of the worker.
Exactly what we were just experimenting. Very interesting component about the stomach. If you would think overeating come from the stomach falling off gravitationally downward from the natural upward position. So for that, you probably seen the child that they would eat a couple of spoons and they would say stop. Exactly for that particular reason. As soon as your body sink down, sitting on a conventional chair for too long, there's no restriction for your stomach. It could grow while you're eating, so there is no stopping factor. That's why overeating on that particular horror chair is so much more complicated. It is one of the great benefits of the horror chair. It's hard to overeat on a horror chair.
Oh, that's definitely worth having then. Let's take a look at another one. Let's see. Let's try the last one, number 0068. Further, sitting in a chair as described above improves and strengthens human sight without any efforts. Improves human sight. Is that true?
As you can imagine, being out of 21 distinct benefit of the horror chair, connection from your feet to an eye is not really visible, but does exist. We tried it with professional doctors' offices, and we do have an affidavit on our Horror USA website where you actually can see several videos. And at the eye doctor center, we had several people who would wish to do this experiment, and their vision improved 20 to 30%. So it means out of the eye test, they could see in a line of 20/20 vision, they could see 2 or 3 letters more out of 8 letters.
Wow, that's incredible. It says here, those who made vision test experiments on themselves using the Snellen eye chart say that they see improvements in vision between, like you said, 20 to 30%, meaning testing individual can read out an additional 2 to 3 letters out of 8 on a 20/20 test line when sitting on a chair described herein. These are the 2 to 3 letters that individuals could not read out sitting on a regular chair.
Of course, again, just like with the first experiment, it's better done than talked about. Would you be agreed to do another experiment?
Absolutely. Let's try another one.
All right, if you're ready, we can try the experiment of your side. And first, you're going to sit on the conventional chair, and then we'll move to the horror chair. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you will be reading the smallest line all the way across. Which one? This one?
The 6th one down. Right up.
7.
I am nearsighted, so we will see how I do.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
It's the first time, right?
The first time. I think the one above it. E D F C Z P.
Go down.
F E L O P Z D.
Go down.
D E F F O T Z O.
Okay,
That's
perfect. So we'll start from this line, from line 8. If you could switch the chairs. And read this line again.
D E F P O T E C.
So you made 3 mistakes in the conventional chair, and you got all the letter correct on that chair.
Really? That's amazing.
If you trust my my ability to read the letters, it's exactly, you mistake 3 letters out of the line 8. The 4th one, 6th, and then the 8th one. You said O instead of C, and you said F instead of B, and you said E instead of T. And then everything was correct in the horror chair.
Well, that's amazing.
So actually, it's, 3 letters out of 8. Perfect. And I would like to go back to our regular seats and have a little bit more conversation according to this test.
Well, the chair is clearly just amazing, and I definitely want to buy one. But I'm wondering, is there any training that I can get for the horror chair?
Absolutely. Just to organize a body in the right composition where your attention, the eyesight, the stomach, overeating, this calmness of your mind and concentrated of attention, it could be well organized on the chair, but in order to train it, you need to know the actual movement. And the training, as I stated in the beginning, started in the beginning from that master horror, Alexander Atayan, the founder of Practice Horror, created an amazing training. It's called a Horror Trance Fitness for over the 35 audience, for parents, I should say, who have a little bit weaker lower back. It takes place in the horror chair. And actually, in 2019, and December 7th, I was invited to be a speaker on TEDx. And you could go on TEDxWillMatWoman.com on YouTube, and you could watch the whole video, and you could see a little bit more description and explanation of what the natural evolutionary component placed in the training, which could be trained on the horror chair as well. I would like to add one more technical component to the sitting on the chair. While you're in motion, and especially talking to somebody while you're in a business, this movement from one leg to another one, it bringing such a force that is invisible to a naked eye. But this force is connecting your gravitational center to all the organs, elongating it from the inside. And this particular force brings you to the calmness and action. And the hands movement, this ongoing motions, creating a sort of a fitness, invisible fitness for your system, so you don't get tired. You're always in action, and your hands is working as a balance equilibrium for your mind to stay calm, for your thoughts to stay clear, and for your speech to be comprehensible and exact. So for a business person, this chair is a must.
Makes a lot of sense. And you know, these days we're sitting so much, especially with remote working and studying. Why not use a chair that can actually help us?
Absolutely. Optimization is the key to optimize your attention, optimize your calmness, optimize your productivity. So for that, I'm very happy to share this product with you and with everybody who is watching right now this TV program.
Well, thank you so much for doing that. And thank you so much for watching. If you have additional questions or like additional information, please visit horatransfit.com.